I've been waiting for the moment for the words to come to me that could encompass the title of this video. I think people worry about AI taking over creative jobs, but I have a different perspective. In order to create, you have to have lived. Life needs to crack you open so you can peel back the layers of yourself and know what it means or what it feels like to grieve, to love, to lose yourself in a moment of decay. AI will never know what it feels like to see a sky full of stars in the heat of July. It doesn't know the pulse of thunder that June brings. A lived, true emotional experience is what creativity is born from. We all know what the heat of summer feels like and how it drums on until October, when we're begging to see the umbers and siennas of fall. I started to think about how ideas come to us, whether it's an idea for a book or a poetry collection, a short story, a poem, a YouTube video or channel. Really started to reflect on this. I started to think about how I get my ideas. It feels as if I am filling around in the dark. And I know that there is something there for me, and I can just feel just a piece of it, a part of it, but it's not quite ready to be born. And then other times, the idea slams into me and it comes in so fast that I have to hurry up, find my phone, and write it down. Usually when that happens, it feels quiet. It feels like a whisper. I started to think about the emotion we put behind an idea and how we bring that through fruition. For me, stepping into this creative journey, it has allowed me to romanticize my life in a way that I never have before. And so now, with this creative brain of mine, I look at the trees and I see so many shades of green. I look at the sun and I look at the shade and I see all of these different forms of lighting and how the light bends around objects to give an object its shape. I think about color theory and then so much more that really kind of amplifies the way I see the world now. And it's giving me the ability to step outside of fear and actually do things like this. And so, as we get into this first act of the video, I want you guys to think about your creative process and how ideas come to you. In this clip, I'm explaining to you that I saw a coyote for the very first time ever in my life, and it kind of looked like a giant dog from the distance. And when it got closer, I thought, oh my God, it's a coyote. And so I kind of started freaking out and decided to leave. I was practicing drawing hands before I saw the coyote, and I had this really wonderful idea for an oil painting, but the only problem is I can't draw hands. Drawing this hand is proving to be very difficult. And the strange thing is, when I started drawing, I jumped straight into hands and I was pretty decent at them. But I guess what they say is true. If you don't use it, you lose it. And I think that's the case here. But I'm really having the desire to put paint to canvas, to be creative, to let whatever wants to come out of me and like create. So I'm thinking of doing something I've never done before. This painting that I am attempting to do is going to be my largest painting yet. And I just know, since I can't draw the hands in my sketchbook, that doing the proportions right on a canvas would be very difficult. I think I have come up with a solution for me to scratch this creative itch that I'm having and put the paint onto the canvas. I think this is just a lesson in being awful at something, being bad at something, and allowing yourself to just be a beginner and have fun. Like, I feel like for painting, for me, is always just, it's great for my mental health. It helps to silence my mind. So even if things don't work out and I don't like it, you know, it's a mental health day for me. So
change is constant, learning to flow. All the unknown, lemons thrown. May look different from what you dream.
I had this idea all from a song, which is Hosier's to Someone from a Warm Climate. I'm such a in love type of person, and so this song made me think of this love that feels so familiar and so strong, but it's so far away, and it's like maybe they can feel each other, but they have never touched. They have never met in the physical world, but there's some type of like soul connection going on here with these two individuals. Like, I came up with this whole story for this painting, and I don't know, it just resonated with me, and I wanted to create something that expressed the way I felt when I listened to this song.
What if happy can be built? Turning into all roses. Lucky I learned what lemons can do. Lucky they let me here with you. Lucky. Ain't it funny? Thought I was lacking. Then I realized all is within. Are your thoughts friend or foe? It's your choice which way you go.
feel as though I have such a deep spiritual connection to the earth, to the planet, to nature. And when I am out in nature, I am inspired. I am cradled by the song of the bird. I am held by the wind. I am experiencing this symphony of worldly pleasures that don't have anything to do with monetary value. I am witnessing the unfurling of leaves and the jostling of branches. I am intrigued by the blue of the sky, and I wish to know the robin that sings its song to me. I walk out into nature and experience the scent of green, and my feet touches the warm earth, and I am warmed by the honey glow of the sun. I cannot help but feel like I am in sync or attached to this stream or this gentle wave that is kind of lulling me into this consistent state of awareness and this state of profound belonging. And I can't help but feel that when I am in this place is when I am the most creative. It is when I'm able to shut everything off and just be in the moment and be inspired by the colors that you can find in nature, the colors that you can find in the fruit, in the juicy, ripest, beautiful mango that has been lying in the sun. And I feel like you can draw so much inspiration just by getting outside. All right, let's finish this painting. For Act 3, or for the final stage of the painting, I had this idea or this thought about actively creating. I believe that we are all artists in our own rights, and just because you don't paint or draw or write, I feel like those things are just the beginning of art, because art is life. I think I've heard the term from Lavender, artist of life, and that's kind of how I view it. Life is art, all the way from the way you choose to dress yourself when you wake up in the morning, to the color jacket you wear, or the watch you wanted to wear, or even your phone cover, to get a little bit woo woo with it, if I may. I could even say that way we are capable of visualizing the things we desire is in a creative act. 25 going on 26, and I really, really wanted a Jeep Wrangler. And I was like, I had a college degree and stuff, but I was working minimum wage. But anyway, I didn't have enough money to get the Jeep I wanted, but somehow that money came to me. And I remember driving past the car lot, taking a picture of the Jeep, and just knowing like that was mine. That's my Jeep. I started to imagine myself gripping the steering wheel and shifting the gears and driving this Jeep. And not long after I started to like visualize like kayaks on top of it and living at the beach. And this is when I lived close to Pittsburgh, with no, like, there's a river but no ocean, and I wanted palm trees. And I like just visualized that whole thing. And so I think, and I ended up moving to the beach, and I ended up getting kayaks, and like everything just kind of fell into place. If you're alive on this beautiful planet right now, then you are a creative. You are actively creating right now. I think it is one of the most powerful and most beautiful things there is to do in this life. I worked on this painting, and I couldn't draw the hands, but I figured out a way to, because I was very adamant about getting this out of my head and into the real world. And so I figured out a way. And I'm interested to know, because can I call myself an artist if I use tracing paper? Or is it cheating? While I was doing it, because it was my biggest piece ever, I thought, wow, this is definitely cheating. The reference photo was mine. The color ideas were mine. The whole concept and composition came from my mind. And it just felt like one of those ideas that I needed to get out before I lost it. So, if you cut corners in your creativity, are you still creative? I think so. I think so.